gonna beat me in this division.
If you had a choice right now, who would you prove? Like, who would be like, I beat that guy right now, put him in the ring with me?
That bitch that just fought, Fundora, what the fuck you talking about? I think Fundora, he just got the belt. That's my belt. Nobody took my titles. Nobody. I lost my titles because I fucking had no dub. Get the money, dummies. Get the money, dummies. I think he stops majority of those guys that thought they could beat him, like Earl Spence, and I think he stops him. Fundora's an excellent fighter. He's a champ. So reason why he's 6 foot, he dominant. But can't fuck with.
I feel like you get knocked out by Brian Mendoza, probably the best thing that could happen in your career. Ever since, we have seen you been growing, learning to use your distance. Speaking of the next fight, Charlo was after the fight talking about he pretty much gave you guys the belt, that no one has beaten him. It makes sense to fight Charlo next. How do you like to fight with Charlo?
I think that's a great fight. It's a PBC fighter as well. The last undisputed 154 champion as well. So, fight with him seems like it makes sense.
The rematch Fundora with Tim was an adjusted Fundora. I don't think it was the first Fundora. The first Fundora, I think Tim was about to knock him out. I wasn't that impressed with that Fundora. But Fundora's gotten better. He's made some improvements. He has this little half steps he makes down to adjust his distance, which once a guy 6'5", 6'6" knows how to adjust his distance, it creates a lot more problems. I don't understand why Fundora was never understanding how to adjust his distance before. I think in the first fight, Fundora was on his way to get.
Sebastian Fundora had recently dismantled Keith Thurman in a startling exhibition of brutality. The main story, however, was not the blood on the canvas. It was the man sitting ringside, watching the tragedy unfold with a cold, calculating expression. Jermell Charlo, the undisputed 154-pound champion, did more than just witness the battle. He took over the entire event. Charlo placed a big, unmistakable target on Fundora's back minutes after the referee stopped the killing.
Jermell, what'd you think of, as you used to call him, the tall, lanky motherfucker tonight? What'd you think of Sebastian Fundora?
That little bitch got a little power, huh? He got a little power, he stepped the game up. I like Sebastian Fundora for me.
Has he improved though over the years? Do you see him as a better fighter now than ever before?
I think he stops majority of those guys that thought they could beat him, like Earl Spence, and I think he stops him. Fundora's an excellent fighter. He's a champ. So reason why he's 6 foot, he dominant.
Stepping into the ring with Sebastian Fundora is a terrible wake-up call. As Keith Thurman discovered the hard way, it wasn't just a boxing fight. It was a terrible physical mismatch. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches and with a tremendous reach advantage, Fundora stifled Thurman's whole game plan from the start. The veteran fighter appeared completely lost, unable to negotiate the constant pressure and devastating angles imposed by a man who fights like a monster but moves like a lightweight. The ringside doctor had to call the fight off by the 6th round owing to the terrible beating. The fallout was brutal.
The people were standing on their feet. We was just getting into the grind, and he was getting really comfortable swinging wide, swinging big, swinging wide. Because he's young, because he trains hard, he put that press. Because he's a volume puncher. He put that press, and the referee reacted to that, So Fundora's preparation, his fight style, it all ended up planning out for him. But as an OG, man, 4 more minutes, it would have been a lot of fun, I promise you. 4 more minutes, and he could have made a mistake right in front of me, man. I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to be one of these kind of tough fights against a young champion, and I had that long-term vision. But the ref didn't let me get there, man. So it was unfortunate, but I'm grateful. I'm okay. I'm able to talk to you guys. I don't need to be in the hospital. Everything is what it is. I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, ICI, and just, I'll be back, man. I want to do great things in boxing once again, and
I am going. Sports commentators, especially Shannon Sharp, showed open humiliation at Thurman's inability to utilize his 37-year-old legs. Boxing expert Timothy Bradley openly remarked that the referee rescued Thurman from potentially serious damage.
Whatever he had planned and dancing around knowing you on 37-year-old legs, understanding that's not gonna last you. That's only gonna last you so long. You got to gain his respect soon as the fight started, Uncle Joe. You got to gain his respect. At no point in the fight Was Fundora worried about Keith Thurman's power?
At all.
Game plan he came to the fight with. Fundora came out with a goddamn left and caught him right in the middle of the face.
That was it.
And that was it right there.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fight somebody that tall, who the best thing you can do is fight at distance, smother the punches, fight on the inside.
He did smother him with his damn face. He smothered him.
Hey, Joe, if you gonna fight somebody that tall,
Joe, before you go any further, you say come out with a game plan. Hell, it looked like he crammed the night before the test. You know what I'm saying, Joe? He didn't study at all. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, Thurman, what the hell are you doing?
Hey, Uncle Joe, is one thing to understand what he should do. It's another thing to actually be able to execute it in the ring with somebody that goddamn tall, that goddamn long. Pause. But you got to make a fight like that ugly against somebody like that.
While spectators and critics were still digesting the violent stoppage, Jermell Charlo was already making his move. Charlo delivered a harsh, unfiltered warning directly to the freshly crowned giant, as captured on camera by the premier boxing champions media team. With a sneer, he dismissed Thurman's weak performance and conveyed a terrifying warning to the camera. He unequivocally stated his readiness and anticipation, issuing a heavily edited but unambiguous threat. You understand you can't do it with me. Charlo believes Fundora's fearsome height is not an unbeatable weapon. It's just a gimmick waiting to be revealed. He observed the complete annihilation of a veteran and felt nothing but great confidence, communicating to the entire sport that he possesses the exact blueprint required to bring the towering inferno down to size.
But we here. What y'all talking about? We been here a long time ago. Y'all was giving everybody else fights. Only issue with Arnold is he got in the ring for Fundora. You can't handle that. You can't handle that. You can't beat Fundora. I just watched him. He can't beat Fundora. I just watched him. Now, if he think he could beat Fundora, fight me first.
Who's this you're saying? Who's going to fight you first? You gonna talk about Keith still or something?
Get on my face, dude. Ask somebody. Everybody can't beat me. Who can beat me at this division?
If you had a choice right now, who would you put? Like, who would be like, I beat that guy right now, put him in the ring with me?
That bitch that just fought, Fundora, what the fuck you talking about? I'm fighting Fundora, he just got the belt. That's my belt. Nobody took my title. Nobody. I lost my titles because I fought Canelo. Duh. Get the money, dummies.
How the
Get the money, dummies.
How the politics look now for you?
Get out here.
This was not just hollow trash talk meant to go viral. Charlo later appeared in a live interview with Stephen A. Smith when he revealed his true strategy. He revealed a strategic approach, demonstrating his resolve to avoid using physical force to defeat a behemoth. Instead, he plans to combine superior athleticism, quick footwork, and a highly educated boxing IQ to completely negate Fundora's enormous reach.
I just think that I don't want you first off to be scared, and I just think that I gotta be a little bit more patient and let everything just flow. Instead of just going in there and making uneducated decisions or moves, I have to really step around, move my body correctly, and finesse this. I'm real athletic, so I can move in that ring, and I could compete with the top when it comes under that. So I'm really extremely focused. I'm extremely confident as well too, and I just can't get over it.
Charlo brazenly compared his lethal skill set to Brian Mendoza, the boxer who famously defeated Fundora via knockout. However, Charlo underlined that his abilities far outweigh Mendoza's. He vowed a performance based on extreme subtlety and technique, hoping not only to survive the early rounds, but to shred his opponent and earn a thoroughly convincing victory.
Yeah, and you're the only one who has ever been able to defeat Sebastian Fundora. Just what does that feel like for you, and what would be your advice for Thurman going into Saturday night?
As far as for me, it was surreal. It was just, something I'd manifested, I'd prayed for, and just prepared for it my whole life. I feel like everything kind of lined up for me, and I just knew in that moment, even the rounds where he was kind of getting downhill on me a little bit, winning some rounds, I never panicked. I was calm every time, in between rounds in the corner, and I just knew that my moment was here. So, for that's just what it was. I feel like it was the whole universe lining up for me, and just from all those years of being locked in.
And for Thurman, as the excitement for this massive fight grows, a highly contentious argument is pulling the boxing community apart. Is Sebastian Fundora's remarkable body jeopardizing the 154-pound division?
Sebastian Fundora is a problem, bro. Like, this guy is... Everyone in that division, honestly, should be on notice. I just... How are they going to beat this guy? Honestly, how are they going to beat Fundora, man? Like, he has all these natural advantages over all these opponents in this division. Like, how are they going to fight him any different than what Thurman tried to do? Like, guy has the reach on you. He fights well on the inside, but he's just walking people over and using the reach. But I'll get into how the other fighters at 154 pounds could potentially do against him. But just kind of my thoughts, my takeaways of the fights, being there, in person to watch both Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman. If you were to ask me, like, man, well, what'd you think of the fight? I thought coming into the fight, what Sebastian did would be his plan, because he's been doing what he did in the last two fights that he's had. He's been walking people down. And if you notice, he's been using his distance a lot more, and Sebastian has been getting better. And when I mean he's been using his distance a lot more, dude, this guy over everyone, not only Thurman. I think against Thurman, he had a foot reach, like 12 inches of reach over him. But
fellow boxers like Rolando Romero have begun to express their concerns. Romero slammed the unfairness of a 6 feet 5 inches giant reaching the super welterweight limit, claiming the scales should be probed and Fundora belongs in a far larger weight class. It's a scary psychological challenge for any average-sized combatant. Stepping into the ring against someone with nearly a foot of height advantage produces a suffocating sense of intimidation before a single punch is fired. The discussion has shifted from Fundora's boxing abilities to whether his unusual physical measurements create a borderline illegal advantage that no amount of training can adequately equip a boxer to overcome.
The best version you've seen, and
man, that dude need to be 86 for the division. He way too tall. I'm sorry, they need to calibrate them scales. I don't know how he making them weight classes. It is not fair.
Chico.
It is not fair.
So he beats Virgil Ortiz. You think
it is? Forget about. It is not fair for him to be in that weight class.
Would you pick him against the 154? So is that what you're saying? Like,
it is not fair for him to be in that weight class. They need to calibrate them scales. We don't know how he makes that weight. All stuff. There is some kind of trickery going on in boxing that nobody wants to talk about.
What do you think about the sustained beatings that he passes out? When he fights, it's the way he gets on top of people and just destroys them.
Man, he over there trying to chop everybody's head off. I'm telling you like this, man. I sit there, man. I just look. I'm like, there's no way. Like you gotta go over there and just like boom, right on the top like that, right? Hope for the best, you know.
Facts. How would you beat him?
Like that, I would just sit down and I'll go like, and you know what? I bet you anything. I bet you he can make 47 too, and I don't know how he would do it.
How much better has he gotten? Like from?
Oh no, he's gotten way better.
Yeah,
he's gotten way better. Dude, that dude's a freak of nature. I don't know how he do it.
Who do you think is a better challenge for him, Boots or Zayas? Provided that one of them wins.
I think he beat. I think he beat them, man. Like I said, man, that's a difficult dude to beat. The thing is, how you gonna reach him? How you gonna reach him?
You gotta stay close to him. He's good on the inside, but you gotta stay in the pocket.
He's good on the inside. He's better on the inside.
The confusion surrounding this physical oddity has entirely shattered the perceptions of boxing legends and top analysts. Nobody agrees on how a conflict between undeniable pedigree and remarkable size will play out.
You know, congratulations to Fundora for his magnificent victory. Shout out to Keith Thurman, you know, heart of a lion. And, you know, the better man won that day.
Is Fundora beatable? Could you beat him?
He lost before already.
Well, I know, but he sort of made some adjustments and come back as a bit more of a killer. I should phrase it, is Fundora beatable these days?
All fighters is beatable. It just take the right special type.
Terence Crawford, the pound-for-pound king, and legendary champion Antonio Tarver are also huge Charlo supporters. They contend that Jermell still dominates the 154-pound division, emphasizing that a truly outstanding special talent will always find a way to reveal a stylistic aberration. Tarver claims Charlo has all of the qualities needed to neutralize the reach, including speed, footwork, and defensive skills, which he feels will allow him to effectively counter his opponent's strengths.
To face Charlo because Charlo had never lost at 54. So that's something to be proven there, you know what I mean? And until somebody beat Charlo, who was the undisputed champion, you know what I mean? What have they really done? Because he was the last 154 undisputed. None of them would have belts if he would have never left the division.
By chance, would you classify with this win Fundora number 1 at 54?
I got to put him right there with Charlo.
Sean Porter, a former champion, anticipates a much darker ending for Jermell. Porter warns that Fundora's unrelenting grinding and internal pressure will provide a huge problem. He believes that the behemoth has the advantage, forcing Charlo to engage in a tough, tiring dogfight in which he must continually target the chest to keep up with the pounding tempo.
I don't like that fight for Jermell Charlo. I just don't think that.
What about with a win under his belt?
Right. Well, I just don't. Well, first of all, I just want to answer to the fact that he's trying to fight at 154 pounds.
Okay.
I'm 39, so that kid has to be at least 33. I don't think I'm more than 6 years older than him. 5 or 6, give or take, years older than him. And I think for him to be in his 30s, still fighting at the weight class that he turned professional at, and not. Unlike me, I stayed busy the entire time that I moved down and fought at 147. I was busy the entire time. He's been out of the ring as long as he hasn't had to touch. If you haven't had to touch 154, I'm just, I don't know his business. I don't know, his nutritional regimen, all that kind of stuff. But if you haven't had to touch 154, most fighters aren't walking around 10 pounds over their weight class until they're about 2 or 3 weeks away from a fight. Most fighters. I think this dude is. I think this dude is a legitimate 154 pound man that walks around right around 163, 164. If I'm chilling, 168, and I get back working and I'm back down to 160. He's a consummate professional, and even with that, his frame is just a 150. He's a man at 154 pounds. He's gonna get a little older. He's gonna grow a little bit. We'll see him at 160 at some point. We might see him at 168, but I don't think he's gonna get much bigger beyond that if he's not, especially if he's not doing any sort of weightlift training. To that point, I think it's bad news for Jermell Charlo trying to fight at 154 pounds, and he hasn't even had to touch 164 pounds in years now. It's been 4 years easily
since he knocked out Castano to become the only undisputed champion in the 4-belt era in this division's history.
Which year was that?
2022, StubHub.
That's what I said, 4 years. It's been easily 4 years since he had to even touch 10 pounds over that weight limit. I think that.
However, the drama extended beyond Fundora. Charlo took advantage of the night's tumultuous energy to unleash an all-out verbal assault on his greatest rivals, exposing a major chip on his shoulder. In a heated, unpredictable diatribe, he forcefully confronted Errol Spence Jr., accusing him of conspiring against him and collaborating with enemies. He also went after Virgil Ortiz, making direct insults and openly proclaiming himself the uncontested champion of Texas boxing.
I ain't worried about none of them. Fuck Earl Spence, fuck Zion, and fuck Boots, fuck all y'all 154.
Hey, you're
Ortiz, and then I run Texas, dummy. I run Texas, dummy.
This unexpected, explosive behavior has aroused widespread speculation within the sport. Many people are asking if Charlo is privately cracking under the enormous pressure of his recent, widely criticized loss to Canelo Alvarez. Was this post-fight brawl a calculated promotional masterpiece? Or was it the desperate outburst of an unchallenged champion frightened of losing his hold on the sport's pinnacle?
Mistake fighting Tim Tszyu. I would, like, he could just fight Jermell. Jermell's been off and they the same age, but I'm not the promoter of the man.
Makes sense.
The man, they could just get a stadium somewhere in Houston or Dallas and just fight. Like, that's a big fight to me. No belt was going to be on the line, but that's a huge fight, and it's a great backstory. And Ronnie knows Jermell. And Earl and Jermell know each other from, I'm sure they sparred countless amount of times with Derek. It's huge.
In stark contrast to Charlo's furious outbursts, Sebastian Fundora's reaction was frighteningly calm. Standing in the middle of the ring, soaked with perspiration and smiling coldly, he welcomed the commotion. During the post-fight press conference, Fundora noted calmly that facing the previous undisputed champion makes perfect sense. His promoter, Samson Lukovic, reaffirmed their intention to pursue every possible champion and former champion. Fundora's terrible evolution makes him particularly dangerous right now. Analysts have noticed that following his tragic loss to Mendoza, he has finally figured out how to fully utilize his huge height. He is no longer just a towering guy who enjoys fighting on the inside. He is a sophisticated, commanding force that regulates distance with brutal efficiency and punishes anyone who dares to enter his airspace.
For you and for Samson as well, to your point about being the WBC champion, Virgil Ortiz is the interim titleist for your world title. He's obviously going through some issues right now with his promoter, but what do you think of that fight? Why do you feel based on tonight you would beat him? And for Samson, how realistic is that fight to be done this year?
I don't believe it will happen because the boxing world have a problem at this moment. And the worst thing sometimes is when management commit a mistake and doesn't recognize it. And when he recognizes it, it's too late. You know, Oscar de la Hoya, besides that to be my friend and part of my family, he treated that kid very well all his career. But sometimes management, he get greedy, and now he pay the price. What we should talk about Ortiz in this moment, that probably he will not fight for the next year or so. And he will get stripped very soon of the WBC interim. So let's talk about somebody else. Tell me which one you want. And then I can tell you this is possible or not. But Ortiz is out of the game at this moment.
Is the winner of a potential Zayas and Enes fight then realistic for Sebastian for this year?
Look, if it's in PBC, we have no issue. We're loyal to PBC, and we'll continue that way.
Sebastian, phenomenal performance. Crazy to sound like this, but I feel like you get knocked out by Brian Mendoza, probably the best thing that could have happened in your career. Ever since, we have seen you've been growing, right? You've been using your distance. Speaking of the next fight, Charlo was after the fight talking about he pretty much gave you guys the belt, that no one has beaten him. It makes sense to fight Charlo next. How do you like to fight with Charlo?
I think that's a great fight. It's a PBC fighter as well. The last undisputed 154 champion as well. So, you know, a fight with him.
The collision of these two forces of nature is now inescapable, and the stakes have never been higher. Sebastian Fundora believes that defeating Jermell Charlo is the most important step toward legitimizing his terrifying rule and proving he is the undisputed 154-pound king. For Charlo, it is a life-or-death quest to rescue his legacy, silence his harshest enemies, and brutally regain the division he once governed with an iron grip. The boxing world hangs its breath, leaving us with one huge unanswered question. When the bell eventually sounds, can pure top boxing IQ and experience triumph over a walking physical anomaly? Is the rising inferno simply too large for anyone to extinguish? But we'd want to get your thoughts on this prospective fight. Can Jermell Charlo defeat the titan that is Sebastian Fundora? Will he succumb like Keith Thurman and the others at super welterweight? Share your predictions in the comments. That's all for today's video. If you loved it, remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell symbol so you don't miss any future videos. Please remember to leave your ideas in the comments area. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.